call the December 3rd, 2024 special meeting of the Board of Adjustments to order. Brian, will you take the roll?
Steve Mattson. Here. Susan Whitehead.
Here.
Nikki Bishop. Here. Rich Livingood. Here. Stephanie Steffen.
Here.
Well, we can go ahead and approve these minutes while we're here. We have the minutes from the November 21st, 2024 meeting. Are there any additions or changes to the minutes?
Not on my part. I move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
I second.
Brian, will you poll the board?
Steve Mattson.
I'll abstain, I was not here.
Susan Whitehead.
Yes.
Nikki Bishop.
Yes.
Rich Livingood.
Yes.
Stephanie Steffen.
Yes.
I will explain how we will conduct the meeting. First, the city will give a brief description of the case, and then we will take testimony from the applicant and anyone that wishes to speak on the matter. Please come to the podium and give your name and address if you plan to speak. Swear people in?
We're not going to take any testimony with this one,
Right.
so we're just.
Okay. There's no need to
Call
swear
the
people.
action and then we'll
So we call it first.
call the action.
All right. Okay, our case for this evening is case BA 24-23. The applicant is appealing the zoning administrator's decision for 20 West 6th Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. The request is by the West Side Citizens Coalition.
It's my understanding that through discussions between both Kroger and counsel for the West Side Citizens Coalition, with Ed Davis being on their behalf, are close to a resolution. Both attorneys for Kroger and the West Side Citizens Coalition are here tonight, and we have hired outside counsel for this as well, Alex Edmondson. So I believe they're going to come up and request a continuance jointly with some timeframes involved with that. So is that right?
And I'm Alex Edmondson now, assisting the city of Newport, and here's Patrick, who represents the west side, I believe, and then Cliff, who represents Kroger. So,
Could we have last names just for the,
Patrick Reagan.
okay, thank you.
Cliff Ashburner.
Thank you.
and it's my understanding they've reached at least a tentative agreement to continue to try to work through their issues and see if they can discuss some points that I think will help both of them in hopefully withdrawing the appeal and then the project proceeding. So I just want to confirm on the record that that is in fact the discussion. That's what's going to take place.
Yes.
And then there are some time frames on which they're going to try to work together, and if they can't, then we'll bring it back before the board for a full hearing, adjudication. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
you guys can speak to that.
Well, thank you all for the time this evening. I'm sorry we got everybody together just to probably come to another night. We would propose that you allow us until the 9th of December, that you reconvene on the 9th. Hopefully by that time we will have an agreement and the appeal will be withdrawn. But that's what we would ask on Kroger's behalf.
Thank you, and I'd just like to echo some of the previous comments. We are very close on certain issues, and we would respectfully jointly request a continuance until December 9th, so we may resolve those and reach agreement on this issue.
On behalf of the City of Newport Legal Department, in conjunction with Mr. Edmondson, what I've been advised that council has been working on, I request that you accept this request for continuance, the timeframes that have been indicated.
So just a point on this, the 9th may be problematic to have the hearing on that date. We would wait until the 9th. We would have to give public notice of 7 days. So I'm sure Alex was about to say that, but it would be a special call hearing at some point after that.
Correct.
Is that, can I ask a question? So, Is that the case even if you're continuing this hearing? So, I mean, essentially, you're not ending the hearing, you're just continuing it until you're
The 9th is the
reconvened.
proposed date for you guys to finalize,
Austin or Austin Living Good?
reduce the writing, or however for the record. If it is not completed by the 9th, on that date, we will set another hearing date, probably not until January. Does that make sense?
What is the date the appeal was received was,
I don't know if let's see, we can find that.
is it, the zoning ordinance
November
requires that?
4th.
Okay, November 4th,
We would likely attempt to have a special call hearing in December.
Yeah.
As quickly as possible if on December 9th, if this does not come to a resolution and agreement, we would immediately notice it, which is a 7-day notice, and we can get a hearing rescheduled. We do have to give public notice of the follow-up of the hearing regardless of whether or not it's a continuance.
okay. Well, because there's a 60-day time frame in the zoning ordinance, I'm not sure you would even be able to have that hearing before the 60th day,
So,
unless we do it in December. Correct.
the appeal was filed on November 4th. So I would, if that were the case, I believe we could still have this in December, regardless of that December. 9th.
I'm just fitting it in after the new year is gonna be awfully challenging.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Awfully challenging.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, gentlemen. I think what we need to do now is have a motion for the continuance.
Yeah, I make a motion that we continue this until directed by city staff or otherwise.
Second.
I'll second that.
Brian, will you poll the board?
Steve Mattson.
Yes.
Susan Whitehead.
Yes.
Nikki Bishop. Rich Livingood.
Yes.
Stephanie Steffen.
Yes.
Thanks, gentlemen. For everybody in attendance tonight, just a brief explanation of what happened here, because this is long been anticipated of having a hearing tonight with this. Continuances are commonplace in hearings like this. There's oftentimes negotiations and settlements that are had outside of these hearings that don't involve the board. In this case, it appears as though the appellate, the West Side Citizens Coalition, and Kroger, the affected business owner, are close to reaching that, some sort of an agreement. The city's in agreement with that to allow this to continue with a reasonable time frame. Again, December 9th, it's a short window to allow them to continue to negotiate that. This will be brought back forward in the case that they fail to reach a settlement agreement. We feel as though there's a strong possibility that that will happen at this point. A couple of things, if you want to be informed of the outcome of this, there's a sign-in sheet up here. If you could leave your name and just write your email address in there where it says address, we can send you out some information on this as we learn more. Additionally, one other thing that I'd ask everybody here from the public in attendance, please don't approach the board members about this and try to discuss this with them. They aren't able to talk to you about this. They have to remain neutral party to this. You could potentially prejudice them by speaking to them or attempting to, and they don't want to have to come off rude and saying, hey, I can't talk to you or anything like that. So I would just ask you to refrain from that as well. So that's all that we have for this evening. A very short meeting, and just ask for a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Made.
Second.
Second?
Board, please.
Steve Masson?
Yes.
Susan Whitehead?
Yes.
Nikki Bishop?
Yes.
Rich Livingood?
Yes.
Stephanie Steffen?
Yes.